When I entered religious life, I was the only one in formation, and director is the only one that I have. However, I was blessed to have other sisters in my community, not necessarily my age, they can be older, but they are always present to me. And they are the one that really there for me. And so wherever I go, whatever I do, I know that these sisters at home are waiting for me to come home to celebrate my day with them. And so it is a blessing. Community life play a different role, a very important role in my life.
Every time I have a break from school, I always spend a day at the manor with the sisters because they are my source of inspiration. Because I see sisters who are like 98 years old, and they're really trying to live community, and they're really trying to go out of their way to do things for each other. And I am so inspired by watching them still strive, even they've been living religious life for 70 years.
Community life for me I see it as a transformative experience, something that evolves, but in many ways, the people change, but because of the people changing around you, they help you understand how maybe you can change as well.
We are in a space where we model being with people who are different. And maybe that's one of the gifts of religious life right now, is we are living across many generations, backgrounds, all kinds of differences, and yet we can live together and make it work. And that's one of the gifts. When we can be intentional about that, we can point the way forward for others in our world.
When I was preparing for final vows a couple years ago, one of the friars, he's our oldest member, he's now 101, and he said to me, at that point he was like 95, and he said, "Kev, you inspire me and you give me hope." And I said to him, "Right back at you." I said, "Because you show me that this life is worth living." And he said, "I never looked at it that way." I said, "Well, it's mutual." And that was a great moment of mutually sharing together. That's what inspires me, those conversations.
It's the commitment and the intentionality of living together, and that experience of this is what we're about, where God is in the midst of whatever we're experiencing, and that search for where God is in the midst of everything is, to me, a big part of what community life is about.
I always say community life really happens around the dishwasher and in the laundry room. It all depends who takes the lint out of the dryer and who puts it there to begin with. It's really what it comes down to. It's the stuff of life, or you didn't do the dishes again, or you didn't do your house job. And there's something very human and real about that, that I think on the outside people think it's perfect, and I thought it was perfect. But it's just the stuff of life. But I think for me, that's where God dwells.
Community life for me is a very significant aspect of religious life. When I think about community life, it does have the aspects of the place where I've experienced the most joy, those times of celebrating together and of sharing what matters, and the times that people have left a box of tissue outside of my door when I went through a bad day.
For me, living in community, it has its challenges, especially since I'm the youngest in the community, and there is a age gap between me and the next monk in age. But for the most part, I get along with my brothers, and they get along with me, and I do learn from them because they've been in the lifestyle longer than me, and so I look to them for wisdom, guidance.